Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, June 15th. This is Gina McGuire. Currently, we are not expecting any significant impacts due to fire potential across the region this week, due to fuels still not being cured in many areas due to the rainfall we've seen recently and over the last month and a half. However, we will continue to still see thunderstorms today over parts of the eastern half of the Great Basin, along with single-digit RH over much of Nevada, and winds increasing today, and we'll see periods of gusty winds and very low humidity along with above normal temperatures through this week. Therefore, we may see critical areas of fire weather this week with some localized areas of increased fire potentials in areas where the fuels are on the drier side. Over the last 24 hours, we saw lightning over eastern and southern Nevada into Utah and parts of southeast Idaho, bringing some wetting rains to those areas. Today we'll see more lightning in these areas and also further north and west. Over the last 7 days, we've seen above normal precipitation really over much of the southern half of the Great Basin, with the exception of far southern Nevada, but still parts of far northern Nevada into southern and central Idaho have seen below normal precipitation over the last 7 days. Over the last 30 days, again, we continue to see this above normal precipitation in most areas due to the continuous precipitation we saw throughout May into early June. The water vapor satellite image from Monday morning shows generally westerly flow across the Great Basin with an area of low pressure well to the north and high pressure off the Mexican coast. We also have an upper level disturbance over the central Gulf of Mexico, and this may develop into a named storm, which will be the second named storm in the Atlantic hurricane season as it moves northwest towards Texas. However, any moisture will remain well east of the Great Basin. Today we will likely see low fire potential in most areas just due to the rainfall that we've seen recently, and fuels have still not cured out in many locations. However, over parts of the southern half of Nevada and eventually getting into parts of Idaho and northwest Nevada, the lower elevations are starting to see some curing, especially of the cheatgrass. However, sagebrush fuel moisture still remain above normal, so this will limit our fire potential. Looking at expectations for today, winds will be increasing with gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour over much of Nevada, with stronger gusts over the eastern half of Nevada. These winds, combined with single-digit relative humidity, along with temperatures around 10 degrees above normal, may increase some areas of fire potential if we see an ignition in fuels that are on the drier side. As far as weather today, we'll continue to see showers and thunderstorms across Utah as we saw yesterday, and lesser expectations are over southern and eastern Nevada. However, we will see a return of showers and thunderstorms to Idaho, western Wyoming, some of those may be severe, and also to far northwest Nevada. Now looking at the weather pattern through the middle of the week, we'll continue to see general southwest to westerly flow across the Great Basin, with drier conditions continuing across Nevada with very low relative humidity. However, showers and thunderstorms will still persist over the eastern half of the Great Basin today. However, we will continue to see relatively low fire potential in most areas due to the recent moisture we've had. We still have fairly high live fuel moistures across the area. However, cheatgrass in some areas of the lower elevations, especially over parts of Nevada, have been curing in the far south. Therefore, with the lower relative humidity and the increase in winds over the next several days, we could see some localized areas of critical fire weather conditions, which may briefly increase fire potential if we see an ignition where fuels are dry. Temperatures will remain above normal, with on Tuesday the gustiest winds expected across Utah. By Wednesday, we'll see still the same general pattern with relatively low fire potential. However, winds will increase on Wednesday along the Sierra Front into western Nevada and over parts of eastern Nevada into Utah, with gusts above 25 miles per hour. And we will continue to see that single-digit relative humidity on Wednesday push across most areas of Nevada and Utah, with relative humidity in the teens further north across Idaho into southwest Wyoming. As we move through Thursday into the weekend, we'll continue to see very warm conditions and very low RH across much of Nevada and Utah. However, we will see a slight cooling of temperatures over Idaho as a weak area of low pressure moves east. Dry conditions, however, will prevail in most areas. As we move through this weekend into early next week, high pressure builds across the west, and the above normal temperatures we have been seeing will further increase, where we'll see some valley temperatures over western and northern Nevada into northern Utah possibly reach 100 degrees for the first time, and over southern Nevada and the Las Vegas area we'll see temperatures above 110. However, still again, low fire potential will continue, but fuels will continue to dry rapidly in these hot and dry conditions. Now looking at current fuel conditions, ERCs are still below the 50th percentile across all areas of the Great Basin, however have been increasing, especially across Nevada, due to the very warm and dry conditions. ERCs will continue to rise as we move through later this week and into early next week as temperatures become much hotter with very low relative humidity and dry conditions in all areas. Looking at the live fuel moisture conditions, we're still seeing sagebrush fuel moistures due to the recent moisture near or above average. However, still some of the larger fuels across the Great Basin in areas that haven't seen as much precipitation are still critically low. Cheatgrass is curing over parts of the southern portion of the Great Basin, and that will continue as we move through next week. Looking at the weather pattern expected for the 8 to 14 day outlook, above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation will continue across the Great Basin. That concludes the briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Our emails are on the screen, or you can follow us on Twitter. Thank you for listening.